Good morning.
Hey, good morning to you.
It's Saturday, the 30th of May, and we're looking at the Moravian text where Peter denies Jesus or disowns Jesus, which unfortunately for Peter is recorded in all of the Gospels. So his mistake is forever put into history. Thousands and thousands of years later, we're reading about it. And today we're just going to have a few thoughts about Peter's terrible, terrible mistake.
So before we look at the actual verses chapter 14, 66 to 72, let's go back a little bit to the beginning of the chapter where Peter is confronted by Jesus and said, actually, you're going to deny me. And Peter's bravado, not me, Lord, I'm with you all the way. I'm here for the whole walk. I'm following you all the way. And Jesus knew Peter. He knew his character, knew his failings, his weaknesses. No, when the crunch comes, you're going to deny me 3 times. And Peter just had nothing of it. He said, no, in the other book says, I'll die for you. I'll go to prison for you. When the time came, it wasn't like that. They get to the garden and Peter falls asleep when Jesus is praying. He couldn't stay awake. And then when Jesus is attacked, what does Peter do? He grabs a sword and cuts off the ear of the high priest's servant. And Jesus heals him. And I always think, why didn't Peter attack Judas? Why the young servant boy and not Judas himself? Because he was the betrayer. But no, that's who he attacked. And then we're taken to the courtyard scene, the high priest's court. And John is able to go in because he knows the high priest. And he says to a servant girl, get Peter in as well. Give him a ticket to come through. And the servant girl goes to Peter and says, oh, you're one of Jesus' followers, aren't you? And then comes Peter's first denial. Later on, when he's warming himself by the fire, a cousin of the guy whose ear he cut off, who's in the garden, says to him, you're one of Jesus' followers. I recognize you. And Peter denies it yet again.
It's funny, isn't it? Because this is a moment where suddenly Peter's almost on trial.
Yep, that's right.
And all these accusations are coming from the people. It's a bit like a press call.
Okay.
You were there. Well, you were doing this. No, I wasn't. Yes, you were. Jesus was being accused in the high priest's place, and Jesus was saying nothing. Even though some of the accusations against Jesus were false, these accusations against Peter were true.
And Peter denied it. Peter lied. He cursed himself. He swore rather than admit that he was one of Jesus' followers.
Did Peter betray Jesus?
No, he denied knowing him. And I think there's a big difference. There's betrayal in each one of us. We're all capable of betrayal.
Yeah.
And we're all capable of denial.
But Jesus said at the Passover, one of you would betray me. So he obviously was thinking of Judas, not Peter at that point.
They all came up and said, is it me?
Yeah.
Am I the one?
Because we're all capable of it. But at the end of the day, Jesus did not see that as a betrayal. No. It was something he knew this was going to be Peter's lowest moment. And then the cock crowed.
And in Peter's defense, he was scared for his life probably, whether he was going to be put up for trial as one of Jesus' followers and killed. So it was self-protection. It was looking after himself. And it's the last time he does this. It's the last time he puts himself first. Yeah,
because when the cock crowed, this is it. It all came crashing down for Peter. The betrayal, the denial, the swearing, the just everything that had gone on. It had been an extremely bad day for Peter. He'd let Jesus down and he knew it. And the most amazing thing of this story as it goes on, we all know that even though we are capable of these things, even though we've made some terrible mistakes, we know that at the end story, Jesus forgives. Yeah. And he restores. And that's a really nice thought to finish on, rather than what a bad day Peter had and poor Peter, because this must have been a tragic time for him.
I think we can be challenged in anything we say, and words come very cheaply, and Peter realizes at this moment he wept. But this was the turning point for Peter. After this, he was one of the first guys to run to the cave to see if Jesus was alive again.
Yeah.
He wanted to see the story come to a good end.
Yeah.
So.
Okay, we all like a happy ending. So we'll think of that for the future for whoever has to speak on that next. Okay, God bless you.
And have a good day.
Bye-bye.